Most of our Fayette Footprints episodes have been about people, places, and events in the past. But this special episode is about an upcoming event, which still talks about the past. The Friends of the Historic Fayetteville City Cemetery are putting on their annual cemetery walk this October, 17th through the 19th. But even if you're listening to this podcast at some other time of the year, mark your calendars for the third weekend in October for this annual event. The president of this nonprofit organization, Miss Gail Jenkins, reached out to be a part of the podcast to spread the word not only about this upcoming event, but about how the cemetery walk started and how it's changed over the years. So even if you've come before, come again. She promises it's a new and special walk every year. You can check out the show notes either through your podcatcher or at fayettefootprints.buzzsprout.com. You'll find a link to tickets, a link to contact the Fayetteville City Cemetery Group, and find out about more events coming up in the future, ways to donate, and ways to volunteer. So here we are with our special episode on the Fayetteville City Cemetery Historic Walk. Welcome to Fayette Footprints. We're excited to talk a little bit about the historic Fayetteville Cemetery today. And I'd like to welcome our guest with us today, Mrs. Gail Jenkins. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Gail, you're not new to Fayette County, are you?
No, I'm not. I have lived here all of my life except for when I was in college and the first 3 years that we got married. And I'm 66, so you do the math.
And in what capacity do you fill when it comes to the historic cemetery?
I am the president of the Friends of the Historic Cemetery Group, and we are a nonprofit 501c3.
You've done other things in the county too, haven't you? You've served on a lot of things.
I have, mostly in the athletic ring, and then I became the treasurer for the Historical Society back in March of 25. So I do that, and that's about it right now with the cemetery.
With the cemetery and the Historical Society, right.
Right.
Well, we're trying to keep you busy. Just so people know, when we're talking about the old Fayetteville Historical Cemetery, which one are we talking about? Where is it?
We are talking about the one that is now beside what is the City Hall in Fayetteville. Of course, that used to be the old high school years ago that burned, and it was Tiger Field back there. But it's now right down there where City Center Park is, if you know where the playground and Line Creek Brewery is. The church, we are right there as you turn in.
There are quite a few different cemeteries around Fayette County. Why is this one really special?
Well, it is the oldest cemetery that we have documented. And the land was donated, by Mr. William Bennett. Most of the people that are buried in the cemetery that bought plots there were Methodists and Baptists here from the First Methodist and the First Baptist Church. They didn't have any land to have a cemetery, like your county churches most have. You know, your old county churches most have their own cemetery. But so he donated that land for the white cemetery only at that time. And there is a difference in opinion on when the land was donated. Mm-hmm. I have culled through all the old records myself, and even Henry County records, which is what Fayette County was, chartered from. And on our sign at the cemetery entrance and at the exit, it says that it was founded in 1823.
Okay.
But I think they transposed the numbers, and it should be 1832. And the reason I say that is our first marked grave is 1834.
Okay.
And so it would only make sense that he probably purchased it, and then by the time he donated it to the city, or, and that's a different ball of wax than itself there, because we find no deed on it.
Oh.
There is no deed on the cemetery being donated to anybody. It's just all word of mouth. There is also no plot, no master plot or plat on the cemetery. At some point, it got purged by a city clerk and thrown away.
Oh.
So we have rebuilt, or in the process, actually, of rebuilding the whole cemetery. We had ground penetrating radar done over 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so we know where all of our unmarked graves are, as well as our marked graves. We have over 700 unmarked graves in the black section of the cemetery and over 300 in the white section of the cemetery.
They're still unmarked.
Yeah,
Wow.
we don't have any idea who is buried there. We've asked for participation from the black churches in the county to help us by, if they know there's members, family members out there of their congregation, if they'd step forward and tell us, that we'd get a mark for them. But we've only had 4 people come forward
So
after
far.
we had it done to help find their graves.
Well, maybe if somebody's listening to this, they might reach out to someone.
Yes,
that would
please.
be awesome.
That would be great. We would love to have them all marked.
Okay. So right now, your group manages, not owns, but manages that property now at this point.
That is correct. We this is kind of the deal with the city cemetery. Each plot holder owns their own plot, and therefore they are responsible for the maintenance and taking care of it. It is a non-perpetual care cemetery, so the city of Fayetteville cuts the grass and weed eats, and that is all they do. We take care of cutting back the limbs, pruning the trees that are in there around the graves. Mostly what we are about was cleaning the headstones, getting them uprighted again, and building back all of the walls.
Right. Y'all have been working on that for
Yes,
quite a bit lately.
we have done like 15, and we're supposed to do 4 more. Actually was out there this morning, and Clay was there doing a section of one that the marble has gotten knocked off of.
Okay.
And so we've got 4 more we want to get done before the cemetery walk.
Speaking of, I was about to get to that one next. You do have an annual event coming up, and it is the Cemetery Walk.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is our 4th year to be the host of the Cemetery Walk. It was ran by the Dorsey Holiday Fife House.
Okay.
And the museum got closed, and so one year the Historical Society did it, and then once we formed our nonprofit, I went to the city council members and the mayor and asked, could we possibly get this for our fundraiser, since we were the ones doing the work there, and they were really happy to give it to us, since we were making so many changes and helping to keep the cemetery up.
It kind of made sense, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It was kind of a no-brainer, and they were really excited. And the city has been nothing but wonderful to our group. They really work well with us, and since we started 4 years ago, we have had 5 water meters, or not water meters, but hookups, so we can get water all over the cemetery. Before that, we only had 1 in the black cemetery that we could use for washing the graves. They have helped us with the fencing, and so a lot of times we'll go in halves on stuff. We'll say we'll do this half and y'all do that half, and it's just worked good. But we are really dependent on donations and
Right.
grants. So if there's anybody out there that's listening and you have loved ones in that cemetery and you're unable to keep it up, that's what we do. But we definitely need funds to do it. Just 1 gallon of that D2 to clean headstones is like $60.
Ah, yes.
So, it adds up, and then we like to put, new gravel out and pea gravel and stuff on them. And, we've put in 2 prayer gardens with benches and 2 other, nice little gardens at the exit. We want to do more of that. We've put some statues in there. But the more money that we have, the more, things we can do, and the nicer we can make it look. There's a lot of walkers that come through there.
Yeah.
A lot of walkers, and, people walking their dogs, bicycles, kids from the high school walking through. But with those apartments down there behind Line Creek, now, where Dr. Sam's used to live, that there's a lot of traffic through there. I've met a lot of people when I'm out there working, in the cemetery that just are regulars that come through there. So we're trying to work with the city. We have some land down below where the graves are that we want to develop, where we'll have some more walking paths that will meet with the city's walking paths down there.
Oh, cool. So you got a long-range plan.
Yeah, we have a 7-year plan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I'm on 4. A little bit, about 4.5, yeah.
I did notice that there were some things that people do to graves sometimes when they're trying to get information off of it that is not good for the headstones.
That's true. One of the things is taking the pencils and, they'll put the paper on there and try to mark it. And they won't even let you do that at in Washington, D.C. anymore at the Vietnam Wall or whatever. It's best, and there's a trick, and you can always Google this, people, but there's a trick that you can do with a mirror. And you use the mirror to, like, turn it sideways, and it will reflect, and you will be able to see the writing on one that you would not be able to see with the human eye just by yourself. But the D2 cleaner, you can buy it yourself if you want to clean your own graves or graves in another cemetery. It's phenomenal. It's, every stone that we have in our cemetery, it's good for. Okay. A lot of people think bleach is the way to go. Mm-hmm. Bleach is the worst thing you can put on headstones. It will break down all of the marble, the granite, the solvents, especially concrete and concrete blocks. Okay. So no. Do not use bleach. No bleach. And do not pressure wash. Okay. Yeah. And if you're going to pressure wash, use it on the lightest, that you can spray it. But just the water and the pressure of the water itself, if the grave is already breaking down and the headstone or the walls are breaking down, don't use the bleach and the pressure washer either. So. Cool.
So if nothing else, we've got that coming out of our conversation. That's good to know. For the cemetery walk, it's coming up what weekend?
It is the third weekend of the month. The dates are October the 17th, 18th, and 19th. On Friday and Saturday, we start at 6:30. Our tours are every 15 minutes, so it'd be 6:30, 6:45, 7, so on. And the last one is at 8 on those 2 nights. And then 3 years ago, we started doing it on Sunday. Okay. And the reason we do a Sunday afternoon, which starts at 2 on the 19th, and we go to 3, is because there's a lot of citizens here in the county that want to come, but they don't drive at night, they don't see well at night, or they're scared of walking outside, and their footing in the dark. We do have lanterns, and we have a lot of lights that we provide to try to make it where you can see the walkway, and you always are with a guide. But it'd be easy to step off the curb and turn your ankle. So we decided for our senior citizens 2 things. We added golf carts on Friday and Saturday nights. We offer you a ride if you've just had surgery and you can't walk, or if you're handicapped. You just hop on a golf cart and we will spin you right on through, and you get to hear it just as well as anybody walking. And then on Sundays we still have the golf carts, but those people that want to come out in the daylight, then they have an opportunity starting at 2, and we do 2 every 15 minutes through 3. Our last one's at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Okay. And if somebody were interested in coming to that, do they need to register beforehand? We just went live online yesterday. We are with the new Zeffy, ZEFFY.com. You can go there, put in the Fayetteville City Cemetery Walk, and you will be able to purchase tickets online. They are $17.50, and all of the money goes to us. They don't charge us a fee like we were using Eventbrite, so this is our first year to use Zeffy. But we do take walk-ups. What we do is if we haven't filled the groups of 20 per time, you can walk up and we can tell you when we have an opening, and you could maybe get something to eat and come back, or we could take you right then and put you in a group. Okay. But we try not to put more than 20 in a group, just so that they can hear well. We have mic'd our speakers since we've been doing it, and so we're able to increase the people. It used to just be 10 before, now we're at 20.
A little bit more volume. There you go. Mm-hmm. And we'll be sure to put a link to that in the show notes for people to be able to get to. That'd be awesome. With it being in Halloween, is this a scary ghost kind of cemetery walk?
It is not. It used to be called the Spirit Walk when it was done through the Holiday Fife House. But I am a Christian, and most of the people on my board are Christians. And sometimes people think that is okay to say, that it's a spirit walk. My personal beliefs are we don't mess with that realm. That, we want to make it a historical event. So therefore, what we talk about, we don't talk about spirits. We talk about what that person did here for Fayette County when they were on Earth. And we give a history of their doings, and maybe about their family, where they lived, what they worked, where they worked, and how they contributed to the county.
Okay. And without giving away any surprises or some of the good stuff, are there any examples of some of the things people might hear along the walk?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a hint on one of them, and this is a popular name in our county. There's a lot of Dorseys in our cemetery, but we had one particular one that became governor of Georgia, and he will be one of our people that we portray this year.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, so your tour guides are portraying.
We
or
have
do you have
we
people
have
along the route?
we have 8 speakers every year, and we try to get family members. And that was also something that wasn't being done before that we wanted to see, because a lot of times we'd hear that the families didn't know about it. So
Right.
we would go to the families if we could find anybody. And I'm seventh generation Fayette County, and so I usually can find somebody on most of them that, or somebody that can tell me where to find them, because there's still a lot of people that are here in Fayette County that have been here, their families longer than mine. But we try to go to them and see if they have anybody that might want to portray the member of their family that we want to pay honor to.
Right. And what a better connection. What a personal connection to that.
Right. And, a lot of times they'll be able to bring out some props and stuff that were personal to them. And we actually have 3 people in this cemetery walk that are related in a way that's going to kind of make a triangle. So it's quite interesting. But I give little tidbits on our Facebook page. We also have a website, and it's a long one. It's Friends of the Historic Fayetteville City Cemetery.org. And our Facebook page is the same name.
Got it,
So
right.
you can check us out on there.
Right. And again, we'll be sure to put those links in the show notes also. So
Okay.
just in case somebody doesn't want to memorize the long
All right.
number.
Thank you.
More than just a cemetery walk, you also talked about maintaining the cemetery. Are there any other fundraisers or other activities y'all do throughout the year?
We do not have any other fundraisers other than we do sell bricks. We have a memorial path, excuse me, that we started 3 years ago, and we are still selling bricks for that. It does not have to be somebody that's buried in our cemetery. For instance, I bought ones for my mom and dad, and they're buried over at Bethany. I bought ones for my grandparents that are buried at Sandy Creek, and I have a set of great-grandparents that are buried in the city cemetery. But you can honor anybody like by their anniversary. I even bought one for my high school basketball team in 1977, and so you could do your senior class, whatever you want to do. But those bricks are $40 for the small ones and $80 for the bigger ones, and you get 4 lines of print on the small and 8 lines of print on the top ones. All that information is on our website and on our Facebook page, and there's a banner in the cemetery over by our storage building that you can just That's My Brick is the company what we use.
Easy enough.
Yep.
You talked a little bit about the fundraiser and making donations, especially if you might have somebody in the cemetery. Are there other resources that people could provide to help out? Time?
Yeah, we're always looking for people to come out and help us clean graves. I would love to have, before we are the host for Reefs Across America for Fayette County. So we have the guys that come up from the place down at the airfield next to Falcon Field, the commemorative
Airfield,
Force. Right. People, and so those cadets come up, and they're the ones that run the service, and all the reefs are delivered, and we usually have a ceremony. We have 2 or 3 speakers, and then we will put the reefs out. Usually it starts at 12 every year on the I have the date, but I didn't even think to look for that date. But it's the second or third. I think it's the second Saturday of the month of December. And you can look on Reefs Across America and find that date out, and then we'll also have it on our page by November. But you can come out and help put the reefs out. But I would love to see all of our soldiers' graves cleaned, especially the markers that are Civil War soldiers or the Korean War, World War I and II. We have had some Spanish American soldiers in our cemetery, so it would be an honor to get all of those cleaned.
And they could reach you through the website?
They can reach me through the website, my phone number, our email address.
Is all there?
Yep. Our email address is really easy. It's HISTFCC, like history, HISTFCC @gmail.com.
Easy enough.
Yep.
Well, this is awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the Friends of the Historic Cemetery?
Just that, that is something that is endearing to take care of. These graves, they tell a story. And I will share with you something that we are working on as a project, and that is trying to build the plat back so that we have every grave in there on a plat for the city. But we are working on, we have an app that they've created for us. We can go and stand in front of the grave, and it will pull it up on satellite. We take a picture of it. We can put any information that's on the headstone. We'll have a picture of it. We can put a picture of the person if we have one.
Okay.
And we can tell anything that we know about them. And there's so much history in that cemetery with families that made this county what it is, that you'll be able to go to their grave when we're finished, hit a QR code with your camera, and hear the story of that person.
That's amazing.
So, we won't be able to get everybody because we don't know everybody or relatives, but there'll be a lot.
So there's a lot more going on over here.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. I'm trying to get that completed.
Good. Well, if you're listening, please check out the Friends of the Historic Cemetery website so that you can look at trying to get some tickets to the Historic Cemetery Walk. That's October 17th, 18th, and 19th. And Gail, I appreciate you calling up and wanting to be a part of the show today, and I hope this reaches out to a lot of people. Lets them know what your program's all about.
I appreciate you having me, and y'all all come out. It's a great thing. It only takes you about an hour to go through the cemetery walk, and I think you'll learn something about Fayette County.
Thank you for tuning in with us on Fayette Footprints. If you have any ideas about some future episodes, please let me know. FayetteFootprints@gmail.com. And of course, all the contact information and links that we talked about in our podcast today will be in our footnotes. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next time.